I think over the last few years, there is a validation on the uses of AI and blockchain in the market. But the use cases have been wide and, multiple use cases of different value, some driving efficiency and operations, some driving attaining better use of information, MIS, on whether it's you're looking at clients or looking at KYC from a KYC angle, customer needs, and other on helping banks actually reduce their costs, enhance their operational efficiencies. The net was and still is pretty much thrown wide out. And as we're going down through time, I think financial institutions and fintech players are trying to get greater focus on what should be their priority and work with different institutions. And probably you'll find the diversion paths attached to specific institutions. So tier one institutions in Europe are more focusing towards cost efficiencies. In Asia or the US, banks' priorities could be different, and how you push AI and blockchain in these environments will be different. I think for us, we've picked up 13 use cases on AI. We are POCing or doing proof of concept with 4 financial institutions, tier ones now, simply because these were the sort of the low-hanging fruits, I'd say.
Well, I'd say about half our companies make use of AI, and I would say probably every company should be making use of AI. And really kind of what is AI, right? It is artificial intelligence. It's just kind of, I think of it as, and I'm not an engineer, a spectrum of data, right? We used to have data, then we had big data, then we had data analytics, right? And all this is get smart about the data, right? And have intelligence decisions because of the data. And generally, you have supervised and unsupervised AI. So you have people overseeing the data and the outcomes of that AI. So what you want to do is you want to make experiences, whether for a corporate legacy player or for an incoming customer, whether it's a consumer or a business, you want them smarter, better, faster, right? You want AI to know I've gotten off the plane in Las Vegas, so it's not a fraudulent card transaction, right? And they know that because they pulled in information about I'm on American Airlines, whatever it may be, right? So you want to fill fields, you want smarter decisions, you want better engagement, you want decreased costs. And so we look for, and lots of people use the term AI as a buzzword, right? But you want to be really solving a problem, right? You want to be solving a problem. And so we look for kind of real ROIs to the corporate client because of the use of AI.
The banks have collected data pretty much, ever since they existed. Only in the last decade, I'd say, where they start realizing the value. And I'd say one of the biggest challenges at this point in time is banks having the right data in the right format updated consistently across their client base or their operations. And there was a few of the major reports coming out globally addressed the banking infrastructure's ability to actually adopt, clean, and enrich the data so that it's useful from an AI utilization perspective. And that, I think this is one of the major hurdles we have today. Putting that aside and assuming I trust that the banks within the short term will be able to address that, they're able to predict the direction that their clients' requirements are going to be. So where's the market heading? How do people evolve over time in their banking needs, right? Because we have massive data. There wasn't the intelligence behind it on how could it properly be used. And if you remember earlier this year, they had this 10-year challenge on, I believe, Instagram, right? But one of the theories behind it is the ability to predict the aging process, right? And you're getting tens of millions of users providing that data instantaneously allows better predictive capabilities. And I think within the banking environment, this is going to play the same role. Collecting all this data historically and saying, so what are the priorities for people in their 20s when they move up to their 30s? And how will that banking services evolve to meet their requirements as they grow? I mean, there are so many different uses of AI on how banks can render better services that it's impossible for anybody to actually frame it and say, this is where it's going to be. It's exciting.